Hi everyone and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to Jonas, who is back here in the studio to this week help me explain some differences between Swedish and Taiwanese food culture. Swedengate is currently trending everywhere, and for those of you who do not know what Swedengate is, basically this started on Reddit and with one person asking what is the weirdest thing you had to do at someone else's house because of their culture or religion, where someone answered, I remember going to my Swedish friend's house, and while we were playing in his room, his mom yelled that dinner was ready. And check this, he told me to wait in his room while they ate. That shit was wild. So basically there is this rumor or thing going around online that Swedish people are not that friendly when it comes to sharing food with their house guests. And I just wanted to once and for all explain this from two Swedes perspectives and see if Jonas can help me explain the phenomenon of Swedengate a little bit better.
Yeah, I think I got so many questions about this week. I feel that the reputation, I think me and you, we are really working hard to build up the reputation of Sweden. We are very proud to be Swedish. We try to build it up, and then comes Swedengate and destroys everything. But I think that the worst thing is that it's kind of true. I clearly remember when I was a kid that this happened. That I was waiting in the room, and then the kid I was playing with, he go down and have dinner. The worst memory I have was that I was playing with a friend outside. His name was Erik. I'm gonna out him.
Yeah.
And we were playing in his yard. And after a while, his mother say, "Oh, it's time for Erik to come in and eat now." And she doesn't say anything to me, but it's just meant that I should keep playing there. And after a while, he will come out. So Erik goes inside to eat. After a while, maybe half an hour, 1 hour, I don't know. The mother comes out and say, "Oh, Erik finished eating now, but he feels tired, so you can go home." What?
This has actually never happened to me.
Okay.
But I have never really had food at my friend's house.
Yeah.
I think this is just because Swedish people love to plan. Especially like I grew up on the countryside. If I was gonna play around with a friend of mine, me and my friend and our parents knew this like days in advance, because they had to like drive me to this friend's place. They had to come and pick me up. We don't really have that spontaneous, let me go over to a friend's place. So my parents always knew like the day before that they were gonna drop me off at like 2 p.m. They're gonna pick me up at 5 p.m. So that planning was always done to pick me up before dinner.
Why? Are they afraid you're gonna get poison there? Or
So, I mean, obviously, when I was a kid, I didn't really put that much thought into this. But this week with Swedengate, I have done a lot of research.
Yeah, thinking back a lot.
Exactly. I was like, oh my god, my childhood traumas are all coming back. That's not normal for other kids. So there's two different things here. Apparently, Swedish people just don't want to be in debt. Because, like you're planning ahead, like a day before, 2 days before, you wouldn't plan to, I'm gonna have my kid having a free dinner at, for example, Jonas' house. So it's a polite way for you as a parent to pick up your kid before dinner.
I agree with you that we plan, but also I think the way that Swedish kids play is very different. I think it's like a kind of a culture misunderstanding. Most of the people in Taiwan, they are big families in small houses, So you don't have other kids over in the house and playing in the house. But in Sweden, it's the opposite. It's small families in big houses. So you would almost always play at another friend's house, Maybe I had 5 or 6 friends that I regularly play with there. And we all live in a very, close to each other. So we just go over to that friend and play, and they know that they don't have to give me food because I live close to there, So they can just when they say that, my friend, Erik.
I have 5-6 friends. They're all named Erik.
Yeah, no, but he's coming to it. Then the parents know that I'm not gonna starve because I live 100 or 200 meters away.
Right.
And sometimes when I want to play with some friend that live further away, it was like you say, it's more like planned. And I plan to go to another friend. His name is Anders. I'm just outing all my friends here.
It's like the most stereotypical names ever.
Yeah, Anders and Erik.
Anders and Erik.
Lukas is a little bit more specific.
Yeah. But actually now though, so when I was born, it's like a horse name.
Emil, right?
Yes.
Emil, his name is Lukas. Yeah,
but
that's true.
I think in the year 2000, Lukas was the most common name for kids born in the year of 2000.
Oh, okay.
So,
then it's getting really popular.
I was an influencer back then already.
I was gonna visit my friend Anders, and because he lives far away, so I actually got dinner there. It's one of the few memories I have of actually eating dinner with another Swedish friend.
The food was amazing. Oh my god.
No, so this was the worst. So me and Anders eat, and the mother of Anders prepare lasagna. It was terrible actually. It really tasted like shit. And Anders, because it's his mother, so he can be kind of honest.
Maybe Anders' mom is subscribing to my channel. You don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. Then she should really hear this because Anyway, so and I sit there and I eat. And it really tastes bad, but I cannot say, I'm polite.
Yeah, no, of course.
I'm polite, so I have to eat, so I eat a little bit. And after a while, she say, "Oh, Anders, you should look at Jonas. He's such a good kid. He finished his food." I do this kind of thing where you like mash out the food, so it looks like you have finished, but it's actually just that food that is spread out over the whole plate. Yeah. So after that, I was really happy that I don't have to eat so many times at the friends' places.
Yeah, I don't really know if we explained the whole Swedengate phenomenon, but it is actually a thing that you would not necessarily eat that much at other families' houses. It's just this thing that you do at home with your family, and you will talk through like how was your day, and like it's a part of your daily schedule to have that with just your parents or your siblings.
We also have the kind of like thing to counter this. This is of course the fika, which I'm sure you explained a lot of time in this channel, because maybe the kid doesn't get food in another person's house, but we have people all the time running into our house that they just come by, they just drop by, like they walk by, it's our friends, and we offer them a coffee or a cinnamon bun or something like this. So we are very very hospital, the hospitality is very good. We really try to share something, but it's more common and accepted to share like a coffee. Also, when I come here, the first thing you ask, you want a coffee?
Of course.
So it's really great. So we also actually have some like sharing culture.
I just hope you don't gonna stay here for dinner, because I have nothing prepared for you.
Oh. I had a feeling I ate actually before I came here. So
okay, that's good. But since we are on the topic of Swedengate and eating in Sweden, I also once and for all just wanted to explain the main differences between just the food culture in Sweden versus Taiwan. And I think we're just gonna start with the first meal of the day, which is breakfast. Frukost. How would you easily describe the biggest difference between Swedish breakfast and Taiwanese breakfast?
We say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Is that a Swedish thing, or is that a thing?
I think it's an everywhere thing, but I also feel like less and less people are actually eating breakfast these days. Or so maybe it's just I'm getting old.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel the same. But breakfast is really, really important. It's piece of bread with butter, and there can be a lot of different things. You make a smörgås, basically, like an open sandwich, and a cup of coffee, and feel. So this is kind of sour.
So I think it's called sour milk in English.
Yeah, sure. And you add some muesli or granola or some berries.
Very, very hard for me to eat hot toasted sandwich or a dumpling as a first meal. I just wanted a cold, fresh start of the day.
The worst breakfast is Japanese, I think. Because they will always give you some I love Japanese food, it's probably my favorite kitchen, but the breakfast, they really got it wrong. Because they always give you some fish, like something like a sashimi or some smoked eel or some shit. They will always be fish. A breakfast should be very plain.
So the next meal then, lunch.
Usually there's a buffet with different things to choose from. I don't know what more to say about dagens lunch.
Exactly, so this is what I want to talk about, dagens lunch. So most of the time there will be a lunch buffet sometimes. Yeah. And you get the coffee, you get the hard bread on the side, and a huge salad bar. But then we also have this concept called dagens lunch, the lunch of today. The same restaurant would have a special offer on one different dish per day. So if you go there on a Monday, the dish of today will be different compared to if you go on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. You can still go to the exact same place and have 5 different lunches for this special deal 300 NT. In Taiwan, I've never seen this concept ever.
Yeah, I think it's very Swedish.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe other Scandinavian countries have it, but yeah,
it's just like an extension of the school lunch, because in Sweden the school lunch is free, but it's also one dish per day, and you kind of just have to eat what you're served, and it just continues when you actually get to work too. If you don't prepare your own food, the cheapest one you can get is just this special lunch of today, which pretty much every single lunch restaurant would have, but you also don't have really the option.
I got a really nice flashback to my time as a student in Sweden, because the high school where I go, it's also the high school for farmers. Kind of, is really on the countryside.
Right.
Students.
Where I come from, we just call it high school.
Okay.
Because we're all farmers.
Okay, yeah. So they will grow their own potatoes and raise pigs, this kind of things. So that a lot of the food that we had in school was very high class ingredients. I think a lot of people think their school lunch maybe is not super good, but I often think back at that time wow, so good food every day for free, one meal. Oh, amazing.
And then later during the day, it's time for what we in Sweden call midday. middag.
That's true.
Which I admit, as a Swede, this doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
And then after that, we even have the evening food, which is kvällsmat. Can you just help me explain to the Taiwanese audience, though, the difference between middag and kvällsmat?
I think middag is just dinner. In Sweden, we always eat kvällsmat, which is a little bit similar to breakfast in some sense. I would say it's often like a sandwich or a toast, and we used to drink O'boy, like chocolate milk and a toast. It's smaller than the breakfast. But why do we eat this before we go to sleep in Sweden? And I think other countries don't. It's really nice.
I don't know.
Like
it's
you get
so
with your
nice.
family and you like have a sandwich together and talk a little bit about the day.
We'd have like early dinner at like maybe 5, like 4 or 5 p.m.
Yeah, my parents eat dinner so early. It's really painful. They come to Taiwan, they get hungry at 4:30. Like, oh,
Exactly.
we need to eat something.
So you would have the dinner at 4 5, and then you would have the kvällsmat around like 8 9.
Yeah.
And then for me, going in the countryside with absolutely nothing is happening, you're in bed by 10.
Yeah.
And then you wake up at like 6 a.m. Swedish day in the world of food, right there. But before we end this video, I also wanted to talk about the differences between Sweden and Taiwan. What would you say when you first came into Taiwan was the most difficult thing getting used to when it came to the Taiwanese food culture?
Something that bothered me so much, finally I can complain about this. Every time I'm with Taiwanese friends, even they know me very well, they will always say like, oh, we shouldn't order this because Jonas cannot eat spicy food. The time when I'm like, I can actually eat spicy food, not as good as you guys, but like we don't have to, they want to order the friendly, and of course it comes because of like caring and they are friendly, but every time I have to say I can eat spicy food, it's okay, like you don't have to like think so much about me. So finally I got this out. And another thing is this is that I noticed that Taiwanese, while they are eating one thing, they will always discuss eating another thing. Like you are eating kao rou, which is my absolute favorite to eat in Taiwan, and while we are eating kao rou, my Taiwanese friends will discuss like, oh, did you guys went to this hot pot place? It's like so amazing.
Yes.
Like, next time you should really go here. And even we eating hot pot, they say, oh, that hot pot place is so good. Next time let's go there.
Exactly.
Like, the food is here. Let's eat this food. After we eat, we can say, oh, next time let's go there. But they are not talking about the food in front of them. We say, oh, it's really tasty. Almost as tasty as this hot pot. Let's go there next time. Sometimes I'm worried if they add some like unhealthy things that I don't know. I think it's healthy, but maybe it's not healthy. That I think I cared a bit about this in the beginning. These days, not so much. Because after 5 years, 6 years, I'm still kind of
still
happy,
looking good. Still looking good.
Yeah. So but that was something I thought about in the beginning, like especially at the night market. I think like what is actually inside here.
So you complain a little bit about the Taiwanese people eating food, but back to my question then.
Follow my channel.
But
I'm married to a Taiwanese. Okay, I love Taiwanese people.
I thought I was just going to end this video with making at least Jonas a little bit jealous and let him know that I will actually go back to Sweden and where I'm going to enjoy all these breakfast, fika, lunch, middag and kvällsmat every single day for at least a good part of the summer.
You didn't go back for 10 years or so, 15 years?
3 years.
3 years. Oh, okay.
So it's going to be super nice. And of course, I am going to continue making videos back there. So if that is something that you want to see, please do remember to subscribe to my channel. And then we will let Jonas stay here and represent Sweden and take care of Swedengate here in Taiwan.
Yeah, leave me with all of this Swedish scandals.
So if you have any further questions and if you feel like you want to defend the Taiwanese way of talking about restaurants while being at another restaurant, please do head over to Jonas' channel and we're going to continue the discussion over at his.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both and see you all in the next one.
Bye bye. Hejdå.
Hejdå.